here's an update on the Scourges. I have their wings pretty much painted to the level that I want them. Now I gotta just go back through and paint the armor on the models. But to show you the wings here, yeah, I'm trying to get the light on it so that they show up here. The wings, now as you remember from the previous video, they were really shiny, and that was because I was using Createx opaque black right here. Now, I mean, this is paint for airbrush. I do have an airbrush, I have air compressor, but I've never used the airbrush before. But as I mentioned, this applies on really good. It's almost like primer paint. It's really super thin too. But the problem was when I was trying to do the brown, the light brownish red mix, the paint just slid right off the shiny wings. And of course I didn't want shiny wings, I wanted more of a matte, leathery look. But you can kind of see how nice those wings have turned out. Now what I ended up having to do is show you my cheap paints that I used for the wings. So what I ended up doing was I took 2 parts craft, basically 2 parts of the brown, this is just brown, 2 parts of the red, and then I took 1 part of the Createx black again, but I mixed it together real good, and then so I got that kind of a brown color, not really strong, but you can see it. It applied on pretty smooth. There's some brush strokes, but it adds to the texture pretty good. I made sure to go from the center of where the hand is at and then went outwards towards the edge of the wings. So I'm happy with the way how the wings have turned out now. So now I just gotta go back and paint areas where I took, I kind of gutted out his back a little bit to groove it, so I had have a better groove to put the wings in. And of course, here's the original pewter Scourge with pewter wings. So yep, that's the Scourges. Go ahead and take these down and I'll show you what I've been doing with the other painting, which was one of the originals I was upset with. Whoops, move the camera. Probably this one that's really dark. Now this one's really dark. This was the one I did the wash, where I had the wash all over it, and now I've gone back over it and did some highlighting. I think I'm going to highlight the back just a little bit because it's still a little too dark compared to the other models. But for the direction of the lighting, I decided to go from, sit them on here. The lighting I decided to go is from front half, high, and then down. So most of it's going to be just on the helmet, a little bit of the shoulder pads, front area, maybe a little bit coming down on the legs. There's probably still some fine detail yet to do. I tried to do some hard edge light on the front, a little bit on the arms, some flat tonage. Here's another guy. This one was done by the one person who posted on the last video about just kind of adding it where you want it. I didn't thin it using detergent. I just didn't want to just put some highlights on it. And this one here, like I said, I didn't wash it all over, just the edges that could use some help. So, paints that were used. Lots, really. I think I had, these were my first, you can kind of see here, I'm going to move the camera, look at, That's these guys here, the dark elder. I wanted them on the table real quick, and because it took me 12 years to finally put them together, and it's like I want to play, so just kind of hastily threw them together and then put them on the table. So they're not painted the greatest. I'm trying to go back over them and touch them up, finish them. I mean, some of them aren't even really finished. They don't even have, some don't even have 3 coats of paint. I mean, 3 different colors of paint, unless you include the rings are on them. Now, like, you've seen I had rings on them, and I seen somebody else's battle report. It was for orcs, and that individual had his bases all colored, and it's a smart idea. So that's the update on the painting. Show another clip later once I get more work done. Now, the one thing I'm going to ask you for some feedback. I'm thinking about putting a gloss glaze on them once I have them painted. And I got this Americana triple thick. What do you think? Do a high gloss coat over all the armor and give it kind of a nice shine once I have my hard light trimming and details and stuff on it? Let me know what you think about that before I start doing all my dark elder units and then find out it's a bad idea. Sorry, I forgot to mention the paints I was using for the base of the armies. Cobalt blue base, bright blue highlight, 50-50 of white and bright blue for the hard trim, and then for the wash, lighting is down on the table here. So yeah, so these 4 items I am using to paint the warriors. And then, as I mentioned earlier, if I can get your feedback on whether or not to use the glaze. Oh, I'll get some still pictures too, since the camera can't get into focus very well.